Hi guys, I'm Rick. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making spaghetti and meatballs. Alright, I'm starting out here with a big bowl with about 3 pounds of ground hamburger in. And then into that I'm going to crack 1 egg. And I also have 1 medium chopped onion here. I'm going to add that in. Finely diced. Alright, I'm going to add in some salt. Roughly about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half. The same amount of pepper. Okay, I'm going to also add in some grated Romano cheese, Parmesan cheese like you put on top of your spaghetti. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half. And this is for the meatballs. I'm also going to add in some seasoning salt. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of that. Then I'm going to add in some oregano. About a teaspoon of oregano. About a half a teaspoon of celery seed. About a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Alright, I have some chopped garlic here. You can also use fresh. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon worth of that. Then I'm going to finish this up with some Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. I prefer these over the plain because they have seasoning in them. And I'm going to start out with about a 1/4 cup of that. See how that looks. Get in here and get this mixed up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish off this can of breadcrumb. There isn't much left in there. Okay, now that I have all my hamburger mixed up, I'm going to roll out my meatballs. And I have a large on-greased cookie sheet here. I'm going to make these about the size of a golf ball, packing them firm. Alright, I have all my meatballs rolled out and I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and put these in there. And I'm going to allow them to bake for a little while. This isn't going to cook them. This is just going to brown them and help cook some of that grease out of them. They'll finish cooking in the sauce. Okay, while my meatballs bake in the oven, I'm going to start building my sauce. I'm going to start out with 1 46-ounce can of tomato juice. I'm going to add that in there. And I'm going to add in 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. If you can get the one large can, like a 15-ounce or something like that, go ahead and get that, put one of them in. And then I'm going to add in 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. This here is what's going to thicken your sauce up. Alright, I'm going to put my splash guard over the pot, and I'm going to allow this to cook for a little while until everything cooks together. That paste cooks down and it starts to thicken up, and then I'll season it. Alright, I left this cook for a little while, stirring it to blend those different tomato products together. Now I'm going to start by putting sugar in this. I'm going to start out with like 2 tablespoons. You want it a little sweet but not too sweet. because this will sweeten up as it cooks. You don't want a sickening sweet. Right, now I'm going to give this a taste. In this here, it's really best to taste as you go. Needs a little more sugar. Alright, that's good. I'm going to add some salt to this. About a teaspoon. And always start out light on your seasoning because you can always add more, but if you put too much in, then you're done for. That's good for salt. Now I'm going to add in some seasoning salt, about a teaspoon. And if you're daring enough to try make this, once you have it, you'll never buy the jarred sauce again. A little bit more seasoning salt. Alright, I'm going to add in oregano. I'm going to add in about a teaspoon worth. Say here more, about a quarter of a teaspoon more. Then I'm going to add in some Italian seasoning. We'll try a teaspoon of that. Okay. And I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of celery seed. If you have fresh celery, you can use that too. Alright, my meatballs are done. I took them out of the oven and they baked roughly for 15 minutes. And like I said, that there is just mostly to cook the fat out of them so your sauce isn't all greasy and to brown them up some. So I'm going to add them into the sauce. They're still pink in the middle, but they'll continue cooking in the sauce. And by the time the sauce is done, the meatballs will be done. Alright, now that I have all my meatballs in the sauce, this goodness, the hamburger is baked on the bottom of the pan. You don't want to throw that out. You want to scrape that off and throw that in. And you can get a little bit of grease in there. A little bit. It's going to give it more flavor. This here is going to help season your sauce. Okay, now I'm going to return my sauce back to the heat and turn this down on medium-low. Let me give it a stir to get that meatballs all in there. And I'm going to allow this to slow cook, probably for about 15 to 20 minutes. By then my spaghetti should be done. And we'll be good to go. Alright, my sauce cooked for roughly about 20 minutes. And I cooked my spaghetti in that time. So I'm just going to go ahead and drain my spaghetti here and add it right in on top of the sauce, in with the sauce. Now you could serve the spaghetti with the sauce on top of it on the side, but I'm just taking the easier way out. And I like my spaghetti on the tender side, so I like to cook a little to the longest amount of the directions, what the direction says. Alright, let me give this a stir. All right, let's get a plate together and see how this looks. All right, top this off with a little bit of Parmesan oregano spaghetti cheese, pasta cheese. And there you have it. Homemade spaghetti and meatballs. Give this a try. I think you'll like it. And until next time, I'll see you.